Every problem you're facing in your agency revolves around this thing. It's the only thing that's going to allow you to win in the long run. One thing that Apple does, that they just sell to their customers. They sell to the same customers on the same list over and over again. It's like you're trying to do the outreach and you're facing like a wall, which is the worst thing I could ever think of, and it doesn't make any sense. You need to keep the main thing the main thing. But then every other waking hour, you should devote it to. Okay, I wanted to share with you guys a problem that you're probably facing that you don't realize, and it's holding you back from signing clients, booking meetings, and it's hard because myself included faced this exact problem when I started. So I'm creating this video because it would have helped me. And if it would have helped me, then I know there's probably a lot of people out there who would probably help if you're a beginner. Because a year and a half ago, I couldn't sign clients, I couldn't book meetings, I wanted to quit. And little did I know this was the problem. But I didn't realize that this was a problem until 6 months later. So let me get into this. Now, every problem you're facing in your agency revolves around this thing. And it's going to be your service. If I can spell properly, I don't know what on earth that was. But your service is what's holding you back. Now, at the core, this may seem obvious. But let me explain. Or not obvious for some people. One thing it does is by having a bad service that you know can't help your niche or help actual businesses, achieve a certain outcome, it's going to do two things. One is it's going to manifest. It's going to manifest into your appointment setting. It's going to manifest into your sales calls. So, and I can explain it like this because I was facing this when I started. I tried to do the outreach. I was sending Instagram DMs. I was cold calling. I was doing cold emails, but it didn't feel right. It felt like, I can't explain the feeling, but I was procrastinating. I was facing resistance. And I truly believe that resistance is met. It's like you're trying to do the outreach and you're facing like a wall. Like you can't sit down and do the work. And I think it's because, I know in fact it's because your service, deep down that it's probably not going to help anyone. You know that your service isn't good. And that is going to manifest. Like, do you really think you're going to be able to actually do outreach and do content if you don't have a good product? It's going to feel awkward. Likewise, on sales calls, if you didn't know, sales is a transfer of emotion. And quite frankly, the prospect is going to be in their box of doubt and you're going to have to be in your box of confidence. Now, it's hard because you haven't delivered the service before, and that's probably the thing you're thinking about. Like, Charlie, how can you have a good service when you've never done it for any clients? And I think one of the problems is that beginner agency owners, they focus on earning instead of learning. And I myself was included. I'm not hating towards anyone. This is just facts and it's what I experienced. I was so eager to sign to like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month retainers that I didn't even sign a client for 6 months. Whereas if I would have actually, maybe tried to Trojan horse and got a client on a pay-per results, and I get asked a lot also in the DMs, like, Charlie, do you like free trials? I'm not against free trials, but I also don't like free trials. And the reason is because free trials, like, as a business owner, you have no skin in the game. You're not committed to so you're not going to take the service seriously. So the problem is you've got a bad service. That's going to manifest into, let me write this down. It's going to manifest into appointments. Hopefully you can see or understand my shit handwriting, but it's going to manifest into appointments and sales. The two things that are going to drive money or cash flow. And you probably are experiencing this because I experienced it, and it's going to hold you back because, think about it. If you had a service, right, that you knew generally could change someone's life and increase their revenue or save them time because it's like an automation or whatever you're providing, it doesn't matter. If you generally knew deep down that could change someone's businesses, of course you'd be doing outreach. You'd be doing outreach every day and night because your moral understanding is that you know that this could generally help someone. Likewise, that's going to book your meetings. And when you get on sales calls, you're going to do everything in your power to try and close that client because you know that your service is actually going to help them. So having a good service is the most important thing, and it's the only thing that's going to allow you to win in the long run. because you can get clients even with a shit service and be okay for the next few months, maybe 6 months. But if you generally want a sustainable business model that has longevity, which I'm sure you do, then the only way to do that is to have a good service. And your goal as a agency owner should be to provide a service so good that they cannot help but refer you to other businesses. And if you can do that one thing alone, which is provide a good service, give the client the best possible experience by working with you, then you will never be broke. You will never run out of money. Because even if, you can even, increase the lifetime value of that customer, because let's say they pay you 1K a month, let's just use, automations, and you provide like a chatbot, for example, so good that it saves them hours. They never have to do customer support again. They can increase the actual customers because they've got a chatbot that can, be there day and night, 24/7, and it makes them so much more money than the 1K. You can upsell them, and people don't understand that your biggest asset is clients. And Apple included, Apple, one of the biggest, companies in the world, people think that they have they have to get new clients. And one thing that Apple does is that they just sell to their customers. They sell to the same customers on the same list over and over again. And the reason they can do that is because of their product. It's because it's so freaking good that of course you're going to get the new iPhone because you've had such a good experience with the iPhone you currently have. And as I'm recording this, the iPhone 15 just launched. I'm definitely not going to get it, but you get the point. The people who buy the iPhone 15 are probably people who have iPhones right now. So that's the only way to win, is to create a product so good that the business and the clients cannot help but refer you to other people. And then you can even upsell them in the future to a higher retainer, or whenever you bring a new product out to sell to them, like Apple, they're going to be like, oh shit, Charlie, I know Charlie, he spends the best, the most amount of time making sure the service is good, and if this is even more expensive, I can only imagine the amount of value that I'll be getting for that. Boom. Every problem you're facing in your business revolves around your service, and that should be the main thing. You need to keep the main thing, which is the service and having a good product that you can provide to your clients. Because if you know deep down it's actually going to help them, then every other problem will be fixed, because you'll be able to do the outreach. You won't face as much resistance. You'll be able to close clients easier, and you'll just have confidence in yourself. Now, the second problem that you're going to face is that if you do the service delivery, because now let's say you've got a few clients because you worked on your service. Maybe you did a few pay per results. Maybe you got friends and family. They are the best people to start with. If you've got friends and family that you can do whatever service you're providing, automations for, chatbots for, ads for, content for, whatever service you're providing, find people, that should be your first way of getting clients. If not, try to get some people on a pay per results to, so you can actually become more confident in your service and have a really good service, because it would have helped me, because I went 6 months because I was trying to get 1, 2, 3, 4K per month retainers when I didn't even know how to deliver the service. So yeah, that's one thing. And even when people think of getting pay per results, or let's say you do the chatbot for, you have free trials, people think that's bad, but you've got to remember that you have their attention to upsell them in the future once you get good at the delivery, or even after you've delivered it, you can get paid. At the start, you can't be too picky with who you work with. So yeah, that's a rule. The next one is let me explain this, right? After 2 to 3 clients, so after 2 to 3 clients, you need to basically not do the service, and ideally not do outreach. And the reason is because if you handle 2 to 3 clients, that means you can't spend time doing what really matters, which is, apart from providing a really good service, which should be the main thing, it is getting more appointments and getting more clients. Because a massive mistake I see beginners make is that they get a few clients, or they get busy and then they stop doing outreach, which is the worst thing I can ever think of. And it doesn't make any sense, but I did the same thing. And the reason, right, is there's this thing called outreach lag or outreach buffer. And what this means is that after a certain period of time of when you're consistent with outreach, it's all going to stack up. And people think, right, is that the minute you send, I don't know, a cold email, cold call, cold DM, so let's just do cold email, people think that you do a cold email, you get a meeting. That isn't how it works. You could do cold email today and sign that client 2 months later because of outreach buffer. And another thing is that consistency compounds, right, as I just mentioned. So when you stop doing outreach, it's insanely hard to get back into the swing of appointment setting. So please, if you're going to take one thing from this video, I mean, the first one is to have a good service. And the second one is to never stop outreach, no matter what. And the rule of thumb I like to have, because the problem, right, and you can probably relate to this as a viewer if you are sort of starting out in your agency journey, which I assume most of you are, is that you don't really know. As I've mentioned, I've just said you need a really good service, but then the problem I was having was like, I didn't know whether to work on the service or do outreach. I didn't really know how to spend my time. And what you should do is it should be 60-40. 60-40. 60% of your time should be on outreach. 40% of your time should be crafting and learning the art of your skill. If it's automations, spend 40% of your time during the day on that. And then 60% acquiring clients. Because it is true, if you don't have clients and you can't even provide a freaking service. So it is like really important you do outreach. But I'm saying that lower your ego and, actually get a few clients, maybe on a cheaper retainer, maybe not for as much. Get good, really good at service delivery, get good at the skill. And then you can charge those high retainers, PIFs, pay in fulls that you desire. But if you earn instead of learn, then you'll be stuck in it's hard to explain, but I've been there before. So you should spend your time, 60% of your day should be setting appointments and closing appointments. But then every other waking hour, you should devote it to creating such good service that the businesses cannot help but like just be happy. So that's the only way to win. I've just explained it. Now, take action, do some outreach after this video, and actually get a good service. And then you can be confident in your service delivery, which means that will manifest into booking more meetings, closing clients. Hopefully this was a quick video. Hopefully it helped and it gave you a bit of clarity on what you need to do. Because you'll never win if you have a good service. You can win in the short term, but you won't win in the long run. If you, after 2 to 3 clients, outsource, get a media buyer, get a developer, because if you don't, then you'll be stuck in the common thing of working in the business and not on it. You'll figure that you're doing the outreach yourself, you're doing the outreach, you're doing the sales calls yourself, you're doing the service delivery yourself, and you're probably doing everything in between, making decisions yourself. Which is and I had this problem, and you can't scale efficiently because you'll realize once you start signing more than 2 to 3 clients, even 5 clients, and you're doing service delivery for them, you won't be able to do outreach. And if you stop doing outreach, then your business will collapse. Now, the things you should be doing is sales calls and making decisions. Those are the things you need to do. And even sales calls, I recommend booking, once you can book, let me explain, 5 to 8 calls per day for 30 days straight, then you can hire a sales rep for 10%, 12.5%, maybe maximum 15% of your profit. But until you have, and I remember when I started, I really wanted to just outsource the sales calls because I hated doing it. And like, I understand because you hate sales, right? No one likes sales. But yeah, you shouldn't be outsourcing just because you don't like something. That's not how you should run a business. You should run a business from the data perspective, not the emotion side. But yeah, hopefully this video helped and gave you some clarity. Outsource once you have a few clients because then you can focus on the big things like making decisions. And as Warren Buffett said, he said, it's a good year if he makes 3 good decisions the whole year. So yeah, hopefully that helps. Remember the 60-40 rule, set appointments, try to close appointments, and then lower your ego and try to get really, really freaking good at service delivery and create a product that actually helps and changes lives. Hopefully that helps. I hope you like the video, like and subscribe. And also, if you want help scaling your agency, there'll be a link in the description. I'm not bothered if you click it or not. If you really need help and you want one-to-one coaching and you want my systems, then there'll be a link for that. If not, no worries. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you in the next video.